I think about this a lot, just like what, because there's like the relationship community of like our friends and family and things like that, but then also as, a country as well. And like, I think I was thinking about this with like the idea of like a renaissance and whatever, because I do think we're coming onto it. The idea of like a artistic awakening because of all the strife and crisis that's happening.
Oh, it's gonna be insane when it kicks back in.
But one of the things I was wondering is like, I wonder if it's gonna be two Americas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, cause I don't want that, because I do love this country. I do, and I want what's best for it. And I think that, and I know some amazing people here, and people that, especially with someone who served, you know what I mean, serving for this country, that fight a lot to protect it.
Right.
People are kind of dividing off into like two different groups right now, and it's like really, I mean, like I want to be able to find ways to bring people together, because like, growing up here in Idaho and then moving to Seattle, I know good people that are conservative people. I know great liberal people. I know people that actually a lot of their views are the same thing, but just because they live in two different areas, they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And but like, I wonder, it's like when these kind of things happen, and this kind of thing repeatedly happens, with police brutality has always been coming up, especially when these especially now that we're able to record these events and everything too, which I'm glad that that's happened. I'm glad that these police officers that fucked up are going to jail. I'm glad they are being.
Absolutely.
But like, part of my other concern, especially now with the virus still going around too, and all these people protesting.
I love how we haven't even heard about the virus as much now.
It's just gone away, and it's like, no, it's still such a big threat around here too, But like, part of me is like concerned. Like, I don't know what you guys think of just like the divide happens so much that we become basically two different.
In all honesty, man, like I've had that thought for a while now, like back with the Eric Garner situation and all the other incidents or whatever, just like feeling like another civil war is brewing. And just not knowing how it's gonna play out or what would happen or so on and so forth. Or even back when I was in the military, what side would I fall on?
Right.
It's like, okay, like like and it was one of the things that I sort of was conflicted with at times or whatever, like where I felt like by me wearing the uniform I was condoning or supporting or enabling all these things that are happening. Honestly, man, I don't know. I feel like of course the positive person in me wants to believe that we're gonna push through, it's gonna be fine, so on and so forth, but also the realist in me knows that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Like, people have to legit want to or see a reason to change, or to change how they see things or whatever. And there are a fuck ton of just stubborn and angry and ornery people. Like, there are a lot of them. I don't know, man. I guess we can say like we've made a bunch of progress so far, so there's no reason why it won't continue.
That's what I'm hopeful for too.
I don't know, man. That's a real thing.
It's just gnarly, man. I'm just like, the pandemic was one thing, like the virus was one thing, and that was already dividing so many people. Dude, I was talking to this one woman in Arizona when I was with my parents over there who thought the virus was a hoax. Who thought that?
There are still those who do.
And I'm like, yo, like, you need to talk to my buddy Nick, who lives in Brooklyn right now. You know what I mean? Like,
it's real over there.
It
is, and it's very real over here. It's very real.
It's the most real in New York City, and so it's like there's. It's just that you can curate your information that you get, and our tribal mentalities are so big and like in our brains that we have to learn how to understand that we have that, and to be like, okay, am I using that part of my brain right now? Am I being tribal right now, in the sense of like, even with these police officers in like New York City going around and like spray painting, like not spray painting, but pepper spraying people, even though they're like walking away or something like that. It's because they're in a fucking.
It's that pack.
You're in a pack.
When one goes, we all go.
Yeah,
that's definitely a thing.
And we're all wearing all this shit and everything. They could be a good guy, but sometimes if you don't think, you're like, these people are the enemy.
Falling into
And it's like, well, motherfucker, that's actually a human being right there. That's not inciting violence or anything like that. They're actually just fighting for a cause. And you just made this even worse.
Yeah, exactly. You did not help. You just hurt you. You just gave that, let's say it could be that one person who you sprayed for no reason.
Yeah.
That then angers somebody else enough to actually turn that peaceful protest into a full-blown
Into a
riot.
violent act.
Exactly.
Right.
Like it's like there's so many things that can go wrong and due to that whole pack mentality. But you also brought up what you said brought up this whole idea of like between community and like how we think and feel or whatever. It also is a fair amount to do with the media.
Oh,
Like,
dude, absolutely.
And I think by fair, I'm gonna say majority, because. And once again, I didn't know that this was a thing until I found out it was a thing, as far as like different media, like news outlets, like be it CNN or MSNBC or whatever else there is, or Fox or whatever, have their agendas. They legit will write something this way, and then the other one writes it another way, and then either one leaves out details for the sake of spreading this particular message. So then the question becomes, how can we flip that? Because the ones who are still in power want things to continue to go the way they've been going.
Absolutely.
So,
I think it's time that we start seeing like media as a right and as something that is like that is necessary for like a stable society. That some like having an arbiter of truth is like so important. And even with all of those news outlets, you know, all of them are owned by billionaires, right? Who are trying to push their own thing. So like if a certain message is spread, that billionaire some way or somehow is going to make more money because people think this way, you know? And so like we need to start having like, I don't know what the solution is, but like if there was like a nonprofit media station out there, like that media station then hopefully would not be like tied to some billionaire, you know, or
they solely exist to point out the facts. They solely exist.
Exactly.
Right.
That'd be dope.
And like, I'd say like NPR is really good at that, but then at the same time, it is the national public radio. Like it's still owned by the state.
But then you also have to ask, how many people actually want the truth? Because then like it's the same thing with like the fact that more negative news gets more views and clickbait or whatever and numbers than positive stuff. So like, do people actually really even want that?
Dude, there was actually like a thing that came out like about Facebook with their algorithms. God,
English is hard.
But it was just English is hard. But with the algorithm, I'm not gonna not use that word anymore. But where the more angry reactions a post gets, that's what get boosted than any other reaction that's on there, like a love or care or whatever.
It's been that way forever. Like
Truly.
legit, like people want to see drama.
Like that goes into us as artists too, right? It's like we fucking love that shit. You know, we've been watching people tell stories about this shit forever. So it's like, oh, now it's like the fucking world of like the artistic stage, and the audience is now being like all mixed up like that. And so you're like, I'm looking at all this. It's
crazy, man.
You know, it's all mixed up. And so like, how do you fix that? You know,
I don't know.
I don't think there is maybe an answer even, you know?
So, and that's so true. Like there's so many things that could be done and that we want to do, and so many ideas that like we can sit here for umpteen hours and come up with different ideas.
I'm getting my whiskey now.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of want some.
Ooh, let me see what I've got here in the fridge.
But no, like it's. No, like we can sit here for forever and come up with so many different ideas, and it means fuck all if we can't get other people, and by other people I mean the majority, behind it and to actually want it. And as history and numbers continue to show, people want bullshit, people want drama, people want the dumb shit that ain't gonna help nobody.
Yeah, or the things that keep reinforcing their already held beliefs, whether or not they're wrong. Like people just want to hear that they're right. And that's it's part of like the cancer, I think, that's like eating away at the fabric of society. Okay, that's the last time I use a sentence like that today.
Eating away at the fabric of society.
Oh my God.
I like it. You can use it.
Oh man, I can like steam is coming out of my ears. It's like too much is going on up there right now.